Hello and welcome to my channel, Beat Slavery with Racha. My name is Racha Hafar, and today I want to thank you so much for being here because I find it very important to share what I'll be talking about today because it's a huge responsibility for us to be discussing the issues of that face the most vulnerable among us, and these are our children. It's painful to think about children being trafficked and exploited and put through a lot of pain and abuse, but it happens. It happens everywhere, all the time, and we have to talk about it. And that's why today I want to be talking to you about child labor. I'm sure by now you're wondering, why would child labor be painful? Why would it be such a serious topic? I mean, we see it everywhere, right? We go out in the streets, we go everywhere, and we find children working. Why would we take it this seriously? So let me start by giving you the numbers, and then I will explain. Worldwide, 218 million children between the ages of 5 and 17 are in employment. Among them, there's 152 million who are victims of child labor. And almost half of them, which is 73 million, work in hazardous child labor, which I'll explain more later in this video. In absolute terms, it's important to know that half of the children in child labor are in Africa with a number of 72 million, followed by Asia, 62 million, the Pacific, 10.7 million, the Americas, 1.2 million, and then in the Arab states, 5.5 million. So let me start by defining child labor. First of all, it's important to know that not all the work done by children should be classified as child labor. Many countries' laws encourage a healthy work environment for children and adolescents because it encourages healthy mental and emotional growth, and this also contributes to the welfare of their families, and these kids could learn new skills that would benefit them in the future. However, it's important to note that the work environment where these children or minors are supposed to be part of should be healthy, meaning they should not affect their health and personal development. It also should not interfere with their schooling and with going to school. So healthy work is generally regarded as being something that is supposed to be positive, beneficial, and good. These jobs could include helping their parents with domestic chores or assisting a family business or working in certain locations that are friendly to them and provide them with fair pay, right? However, what we see in child labor is defined So child labor is defined as the work that deprives children of their childhood, their dignity, and work which is physically, emotionally, and mentally harmful to them. This could be seen as work that stops kids from attending schools or puts a lot of workload on them while they have to balance between school and hours of work together. So now let me talk about worst forms of child labor. What does that look like? So that involves children being enslaved, separated from their families, exposed to serious illnesses and hazards, being left alone in the streets of big cities, and the conditions that make us label a form of work as child labor are the followings. So the age of the child, the types and hours of work performed, the conditions under which the work is performed, and the objectives behind the work. Is that child making profit for someone else? Is someone else using them for making money and exploiting them for that purpose? So what are these worst forms of child labor? So child labor takes different forms, and a priority is to eliminate without delay the worst forms of child labor as defined by Article 3 of the ILO Convention, the International Labor Organization, Convention number 182. And it says all forms of slavery or practices similar to slavery, such as the sales and trafficking of children, debt bondage, and serfdom, and forced or compulsory labor, including forced or compulsory recruitment of children, for the use in armed conflict. So we talk about child forces or child soldiers, and also when they're forced into prostitution for the production of pornography or pornographic performances or sexual work. So the use, this is where the use of children also for illicit activities, in particular for the production and trafficking of drugs, it's also defined to be relevant to international treaties. So this work is in the nature, it's in its circumstances, it's carried out and it's very harmful to the healthy state of children, and it's dangerous to their safety. So it's important to talk about hazardous child labor, which is child labor with hazardous nature that is harmful for children and puts them in danger. And this includes work which exposes children to physical, psychological, or sexual abuse, work underground, underwater, and dangerous heights or in confined spaces, work with dangerous machinery, equipment, and tools, which involves the manual handling or transport of heavy loads, work in an unhealthy environment which may, for an example, expose children to hazardous substances, agents, or processes of different temperatures or noise levels or vibrations that might be damaging to them and their health. Work under particular difficult conditions, such as work for long hours or during the night, or work where the child is unreasonably confined to the premises of the employer, means they cannot leave that location where they are kept. So it's important that we keep an open eye and an open heart to see children in communities around us, and make sure we report whatever we believe to be child labor and child trafficking. It's important for us to be the ones who save these children around us. So by this, we come to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and it opened your eyes to child labor and exploitation. And I will see you tomorrow with another video. Have a great day.